A little while ago, or perhaps a long time ago, I posted an unboxing video of what has been the most anticipated piece of gear that I have ever waited for.
And look at that.
I didn't get a chance to show how these mics actually worked, so we're going to do that now. As you may have saw, I was really impressed with the new power supply that Stam Audio is providing. Power these things up with this power supply over here. And this...
Nice with the leather handle.
Yeah, I was going to say, I want my other mic to have a power supply just like this. But the unit did not actually come with an actual power cable. I contacted Stam about that, and it probably was a supply issue at the time. And it's not really a big deal. I have extras, but if I didn't have extras, it would have been a little bit of a big deal. So now we get to hooking it up. So this is the shock mount, and it has an adapter in it, and I actually had to use a rack mount to try to get it out. So the shock mounts for these microphones are a little bit... I understand why they're the way they are, but I like the one that came with the SA67 a lot better, because you have to screw on these. Right away, I actually did notice some things with the mic upon getting it. The first thing is that this emblem right over here, it's a sticker and it was kind of messed up. And also the sticker that goes around the bottom that tells you what it is, the model sticker, is very susceptible to peeling off. And I've heard some other people talk about that. These are just some cosmetic things, but I mean, the mic isn't cheap, even though it's less money than an actual U67. It's still an expensive microphone, so I mean, it's kind of a big deal, but it's not a big deal, or it's not a big deal, but it's kind of a big deal. So the thing that bothered me the most, and it still kind of bothers me, is that upon opening it up to see what kind of tubes this thing had, I noticed that they use a lot of hot glue to hold things in. And this is different than the SA67 that I got. They actually use screws to hold in the transformers on the SA47. If I was to complain about anything cosmetically, I'd complain about the hot glue. Don't use hot glue. Just stop. And the last thing that I noticed was that the switches for the low cut and the pad are all really good solid switches, but this polar position switch has a really short throw on it, a real short handle, whatever the technical term is. It's really short and it bumps so easily. I actually bumped it putting it into the shock mount when I was hooking it up. And it's the same switch that they used on their version of the Pultec for the mid-band add and subtract. I wish they would use a higher quality switch for the polar pattern. You know, being able to put it in and bump it is kind of a inconvenience. So you gotta watch for that. You gotta watch for that. But the mic sounds great, and that's what we're gonna test out right now. My first test was on acoustic guitar. I ended up doing an extensive amount of recording and testing out the mics with acoustic guitar. One of the things that I wanted to hear was, because there was two different tubes in the microphones, to see how much difference there was between the tubes. One thing I noticed between both microphones is that the differences between both microphones are very subtle on the acoustic guitar, to the point where you wonder if it's the placement or if it's the tubes themselves. But I did different tests at different positions, and it seemed pretty consistent that they were equally close in all the different positions. But one thing that I did notice was that when the audio became compressed, like making this video, that the differences became even smaller, what was even harder to tell. So in doing the electric guitar test, I discovered that there was a little bit of resistance in the cable that I've had. It's a monster cable. It's a monster cable that I've used for playing out so many shows. I've always wrapped it up really good and taken really good care of it, but I guess, you know, over the course of the years, it's finally given way. So what ended up happening is I found out that the tests were inconsistent. The tone varied significantly, and it wasn't the microphones. It was actually the guitar, the gain going into it. Probably impedance has something to do with it. So we're just going to listen to a test with both the microphones on. We might turn off one of the microphones to kind of hear the difference of the position. But either way, that's all I can provide for you right now. What I can tell you though is that to me the microphones sound like what I hear in the room. And that's a good thing. That's what you want. So with both microphones, to me, the guitar just sounds great. It sounds so big and open and wonderful. So I actually really like this microphone technique. I don't know if it's something that I really want to use all the time, but using these microphones, with one or with two, I mean, it sounds to me like it sounds in the room. I recorded drums on a few occasions. One you can hear on the last video that I posted about cutting my hair. There's another video that I posted on Instagram where I talk about a unique drum part. In both these videos I used these mics in the overhead position, and that's why I really wish that there was a hard mount for these, because it's so much easier to control the position of the microphones with a hard mount instead of a shock mount. So really the only test that still needs to be put out here for the moment is a voice test. And I've done a little bit of recording for vocals with these microphones, but not as much as the other stuff. And I didn't really want to post anything that would get this video flagged or taken down or anything else like that. My wife has actually offered to do some singing tests, so maybe I can come up with a video sometime in the new year, and if there's any suggestions of songs to do, you can leave them in the comments below, and maybe we might do it. One of us. I also have a few other videos regarding these microphones that I will be posting. One of them has to do with a comparison with these microphones and another microphone that I sold that was bought to record acoustic guitar, so kind of comparing what I got now versus what I have had. And I also have another video that talks about changing out the tubes to Telefunken new old stock tubes. For this video we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm actually going to end this video with a recording that I did using this microphone. But before we do that, I just wanted to tell you that I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and again, I have a lot more to talk about regarding music, recording, and my own stuff as far as music goes. So again, please make sure that you like and subscribe for more videos like it, because you never know what my next video are going to be. And please make sure to leave a like below so that YouTube knows to show this video to other people just like you. And also be sure to leave a comment in the comment section about something about music or these microphones or anything else that's on your mind. You know, what do you think about these microphones? I think that they make music sound like the way that I want to hear it. I think they make things sound like the way that it sounds in the room, the way that my ear hears it, and that's a real nice thing. It's pretty reassuring. So without further ado, here is yet another original, not the actual title. Alright, see you guys.